So, as always, the code for this question will be in the description, but if you want the explanation, you can continue watching this video. So, this question is actually really like in a romantic way connected to me because it's the first code for this question I have solved, but more on the story later. First, what is the question? Is it a cat? They basically will be giving you a string, and what you're supposed to find is, does this string have the letter combinations of either small m or capital M some number of times, then small e or capital E some number of times, and small o and capital O some number of times, and similarly small w or capital W some number of times. The string should be in such a way that the first few letters, at least one, should contain at least one of these, or both. The second, same thing, third, same thing, and fourth, same thing, which basically means that it could be something like this: M, E, O, W. This could be the string. Another thing could be M, M, E, O, O, W. This could be the thing. So basically what I'm trying to say is, at least one of these should be present in this thing at least once. Similarly for all these three. That's basically, if this is the case, then good. This is not a valid string in this case. A, M, E, O, W. Even though Mia is there, A should not be there. The string, this entire string should consist only of these and at least one of these, any of these ones. So that's when we can consider this a valid string, basically, which means that is it a cat, means that does it say meow or not? That's basically, cat doesn't say meow, it says meow. So how do we solve this thing? So see, the thing is, you need to check, as I told you, that whether the first part consists of M or not, right? And it can consist of small m and capital M any number of in any combination, any number of times, minimum of once. At least any one of this should be present once. So how do we get to this conclusion? Like for the same for the rest of the three. That's, if you check this, then you have completed the question. You have to solve the problem of the question. It's a problem or a question. So how do we get to this thing? For that, I propose method. So we can take variables x, m, e, o. Okay, I'll tell you what x is. So basically, I'll tell you why w is not there. First, what is x? See, x is used to check that there was no, in the string, in the given string, there was no letter before m. The part where it can be either small m or capital M, there should be no letter before that, right? Or there should be no letter in between, which is not M, E, or W in the order. And there should be no letter after meow. So x checks whether that there are no letters before this thing. Now, how does it check it? X is a variable, by the way. How does it check it? Basically, what you can do is, you can keep x as 0 initially. All of these are 0. Okay, let's take this capital M, E, O, W, W. Okay, this is the string. So first we start with M. What we'll do is, if we'll have an iterative loop, and we'll check if the I is in M or M. What we'll do is, and x is equals to 0. Okay, so if you look at this thing, if I in M comma M is equals to 0, then x is 1. Okay, what is this thing? Let me explain to you properly. This is a given string, right? Example, let's take an example. So, while iterating, if M is either M or M, in this case it is small m, so yes, it satisfies this condition. This is M variable, by the way. And M is equal to 0, which means that we still don't have M as a string, the first letter. Which means, since we didn't iterate, right? We were here before and we started from here. So when we started, we didn't really count this thing. But now we know, yeah, we didn't count it and we encountered an m. In that case, we'll make x as 1, which means in this case, x will become 1. Okay, now, why is this tricky? See, in the end, we'll have an else case, else break print no. Okay, so that is why if this is the case, this means that we did not encounter m until this point, and m has not been since m has not been encountered. We can add x as 1 because which means that any letter before m is not checked. We don't need to check the letters before m because that is now done. There is no letters before m which is not m. So that's why we can make x as 1, which means that okay, before x, before m, this m conditions, there are no letters. That is done. And m is 0, which means that we did not encounter m. That's why I'll take it x as 1. For the next thing, what I'll do is, if maybe it is m capital M. Yeah, we came to capital M. If I is equals to capital M, yes, m is still 0. And x is also still 1. Okay. Now, next thing is e. So, as you can see here, we have an elif condition checking e. So, since after m, e comes. What is e is equals to and x is equals to 1? Why are we checking these two conditions? What is m is? Why did we make m as 1? See. First, in this case, we check that x is equals to 1 symbolizes the fact that before m nothing is there. Everything is fine. Now, with this condition, it checks that if x is equals to 1, that means that up until this point, we only have m. We only encountered m and m was 0. So, that means there was nothing before m. After that, if e is 0, this means that if I is e first things first, we encountered e first. X is 1 means that before m nothing was there, in between m also nothing was there. And e is equal to simple as that, okay, e was also not encountered till from now on this m part is over. We are coming to e part now. Now m is equals to 1 symbol as that, since I told you the x symbol as everything before m is clear. M is equals to 1 symbol as the fact that m is clear now. The string m, this part basically m is everything's fine. Now we'll start at e part. That is what this thing symbolizes. Similarly, we'll write the same thing for this before one. In that case, what I'll do is we'll write e is equals to 1. If o is equals to 0 and e is equals to 1, then then e is equals to 1. Okay, in this case, see what happened here. M is 0, then x will be 1. Here e is 0, then m will be 1. Here o is 0, then e will be 1. Which means that e is equals to 1 signals. E is everything's fine. In the E segment, that segment I told you, everything's fine. I'm going to O part. W will just see whether O is 1 or not, which means that O is everything's fine. So W we don't need to check whether everything's fine. If in the else condition, what I'll do is we'll break it. If there is any word other than M, E, O, W, we'll break it. So after W, if it keeps iterating, we'll just keep checking it. W is if everything's fine, it won't even go to the else condition. Thus, we won't need to break it. At the end, we'll go through the ending. We iterate to each and every part of the array. Now, what will be the answer now? See, the thing is, if everything's correct, we'll get this will be the answer. If everything is correct, which means that we check that everything before m is correct. M itself is correct. E is also correct. O is also correct. And W will also be correct because if it is not W, then it will go to the else condition. So with this, what we can do is we can add all of these. If the variable sum is 4, good. That means that the string is meow and we can print yes. If no, then 0. It won't be 4 equal to 4. This is basically the thing. This is a tricky concept actually. In a way, you can try this in n number of ways. You can try your own way in which you can do it. The basic thing is the m part should be perfect. Everything before m should be perfect. E should be perfect. O should be perfect and W should be perfect. And after W also everything should be perfect. That means that all of these segments of the string, in the manner they want it, should be properly checked. That's basically the thing. How we check it is your wish. That's the thing. So yeah, this is the code. As always, has a code question link in the description. But I like this question because not because it's hard, it's actually kind of easy. It's just a bit of a trick in it. It's the first question actually. Story time. I mean, if you want, you don't watch this video, thank you. This part of the video, thank you. But okay, for the people, for the two people who are listening, or maybe thousands of people will be listening in a few years when they get to my old videos. So see, I'll tell you one thing. Story time is it was night time. Okay, 9 o'clock, 9:30 sometime. I sleep at 9 o'clock or 9:30 back then. So what happened was I was sleeping, but my friends were writing some contest. This Codeforces contest was started at that time. I didn't even do solve Codeforce ever. I was doing lead code at that time. So I was sleeping happily, but my friend was like, "Okay, array, this is question. Why don't you just solve it?" I was like, "No, no need." But he explained me the question. I was like, "Okay, good." And I put like blindfolds on my eyes and I slept. We're in a hostel room, so the lights on, so I put blindfold on my eyes and I slept down. 10 minutes later, I woke up and I was like, "Okay, we had to solve this question." Because in my mind, I couldn't let that thing go. Even though I wanted to sleep, I stood up. No, okay, let's solve this question. The time was there, the time limit was there. I kept writing multiple. I had a thought in my mind, don't know exactly what it was. I tried to solve it. Of course, it didn't come. I spent, I guess, more than the time, the Codeforces time they gave us, and more to solve the question. I didn't solve the question at all. I was so frustrated, I left it. That's it. I left it as it is. And that was my introduction to Codeforces actually. Not a nice start. That was really, really long ago. Now, I mean, now it's easy for me. I can solve this thing, but that's the thing. It's a nice story. This is how I started Codeforces. So yeah, if you watched till the end of this video, thank you really for watching this. And yeah, I will post another video next day. Thank you.